Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. Let's see, we've got one thing to trade out before we figure out what we're gonna do. Alright, so we need a combination of a lot of things here. Nothing overlaps. So I need 5 Druid and Rogues, 5 Shaman and Warlocks, and 3 Priests. I guess maybe we'll start with Priests. I gotta watch and learn, which again put me a day further ahead as far as recording. Not a day further ahead, no, a day behind. And in general, I'm in a strange mood, and I have not a ton of stuff to talk about. My list is listed here. Let's, I guess, just start with Priest. There's no reason to even play ranked. We are, if we come back here, let's see, how far are we? Does it say? Till the end of the month? We're like 6 days away from the end of the month. We're not going to get up to rank 19. It's just not going to happen. So let's save some time here. So let's talk. Let's leave the garbage out for YouTube garbage.
The light shall bring victory.
In general, but also in general live garbage. And let's start with the first thing on my list, which I wrote a while ago, which is BioShock the original versus remastered. I believe this is the first recording I've done since I finished BioShock Remastered. And I did it, and then I played about 20-40 minutes of the original game. And even though the graphics are noticeably worse in the original game, everything else is so much better in the original game for BioShock. You lose your achievements on Steam, certainly, too, if you're playing the original version of BioShock. But that's a small price to pay for the mouse acceleration not to be an issue, and the controller to be nice and tight, the game to run smoother, the audio to sound better. It allegedly, I guess, doesn't crash as much as the remastered, which I guess when the patch comes out for that won't be an issue anymore, hopefully. But right now, it makes way more sense if you're playing PC to play the original than it does to play the remastered. Now, you might be going in the right direction if you specifically played the remaster knowing it was the worser version of the game, and then then play the original for the better version. But then you're playing the game twice for very little reason. I'd say probably just skip the remaster altogether. Now I'm playing BioShock 2 because of scheduling things, which it doesn't really fit. It's gonna go outside of October in airing. It's not really a horror game like the first one was. And so it doesn't really fit. There is certainly also the element there that BioShock 1 is about Andrew Ryan and taking his ideology of libertarianism to an incredibly crazy extreme, and in general it mostly just reflects on him being a bad dictator, and he would have been a bad dictator regardless of his ideology. So it's not particularly as much that his ideas were bad as much as, well, even though I think his ideas are bad, it's more that his ideas are his enforcement and attempts to become the person in control caused him to
with the
become a
show.
dictator. And dictatorships arise in any ideology, and that's kind of the issue there. As you play Bioshock 2, you start to hear some speeches between Andrew Ryan and the bad girl of the second game, Sophia Lamb, who promotes this really corrupted socialist idea that really is just cult mentality. It's taken to such an extreme that it's no longer about this is our economic theory and this is why we think it's good. It's just everybody is part of a family, and this cult thrives and works that way.
On with the show.
So, to the point where the splicers are willingly offering themselves up to little sisters to be stabbed with the needle and suck the atom out of them, and they're desperately trying to protect the little sisters from you. So
my master.
it's almost this tale where you're the bad guy, because you are certainly running around getting these little sisters from other big daddies through violence and basically kidnapping them and then using them to gather at them for you.
On with the show.
So there is an undeniable lack of moral things you're doing right now. Of course, you're forced in the constriction of the game to do those things. So, like, first episode, I was like, I told him straight up, I'm generally going to be a lot nicer and more lenient on the concept of socialism, because I kind of do believe it would succeed in a society that no longer has much, if any, problems with having resources. So once you get into something like Star Trek The Next Generation, and you have replicators that are giving you all the food, clothing, and water, and you have infinite amounts of energy, once there's nothing that really needs to be competed for, then yes, socialism then at that point starts to work. In the real world, like, it doesn't. It just doesn't. Not that capitalism fails in the same way, though.
Not all who wander are lost.
Like, we've had many capitalist countries fail. It's just that when they fail, they usually don't fail on such an obvious and massive scale, because it's easy for one company to go out of business and nobody bat an eye. It's hard when that one company is the government and that is the only company in the entire country. In general, I'd say the best socialist country you can even point to is something like the UK or Canada, which has just socialized parts of their country, mostly their medicine, and that mostly works. Maybe you have to wait really long.
I foresaw this.
But beyond that, it mostly works. Let's see. So, in the end, Sophia Lamb, though, is just another dictator, and even in the game, you start to show the other characters in the game that, oh yeah, she it seems almost certain that she uses brainwashing techniques, because she's not honestly like expressing her ideas to people and turning them over through the power of her thoughts. She's obviously brainwashing people and using plasmids to brainwash people. The very first scene in the game, you see her use the same brainwashing techniques that Andrew Ryan used against the first character in the game. So that kind of fails. And then you get into like communism that's barely kind of sort of touched on in BioShock Infinite in a very, very small way. You would say that it was a somewhat communistic country, but kind of not really. Also, getting off the messages of BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. BioShock 2 is just a better game in, I'd say, most aspects. It feels like it's worked on a little bit better and a bit more polished. The level design feels a little weird. It feels like if Irrational Games, 2K Boston, whoever they are now, if they're anybody, they may not be anybody. Feels like if Irrational Games had made BioShock 2's levels, they would have been a little bit more better thought out, because there is a lot of like side quests and side areas that weren't really in the first game, and it changes the feel a little bit. But the concept of having to walk around and protect the little sister to gather Adam puts a lot more to it in the second game. Having more varieties of splicers adds some stuff to it, and
legions I command.
And having the big sister certainly adds something to it. So I'm enjoying it. It feels like the game's a little bit smoother. They moved the buttons around where you healed, which is a little weird, and then there was no way actually to turn the buttons back to the way they were in the first game. And that seems a little strange in itself. You'd think for people who played the first game, they'd want at least an option to play as the second, play the same way the second game. But both interfaces are garbage. Far too many guns in the game still. The camera system is a slight improvement. It took me a while to even realize it was an improvement, because in the second game it's a camcorder that records video as you're doing damage, and you get more points for doing mostly random plasma damage to people. Where in the first game it was simply just take pictures as they're jumping to kill you over and over again. So I'd sit there in the first game and just be like, another picture, another picture, another picture. And a lot of work to get all that research finished on top of that, and that too feels like it has been fixed. Oh no. Darn it. That did not work the way I wanted it to.
Job's done.
That was an interesting combination. Because I cast a spell, this card healed them. And because it healed them, then the spell healed the rest of the way and didn't leave me with any damage, because it needed, if I was still damaged, I would have gotten a light warden, and that was what I was trying to do. So if I use this on this, it wouldn't do anything either.
Hey, that's my king!
So the graphics look good. It is a weird position playing BioShock 2 Remastered, because I really don't know if there was any things added to the game in the remaster. If it wasn't just that they changed a few settings and allowed you to go up to 4K. I don't know if they really actually put any textures in there. In the light's name. And even if they did put some textures in there, I'm not sure that that those textures are actually going to
Hey,
be
that's my
much
cake.
higher
Job done.
resolution than the original game. Both the original BioShock 2 and the remastered BioShock 2 have achievements, so it makes an argument that you could, if you really love BioShock 2, run through the game twice and get both sets of achievements for doing practically the same thing.
Let me think.
And the achievements are a little bit more lenient in the second game, but there's still definitely one for disabling Rydo chambers and not respawning, and playing on the hardest difficulty. So I don't think I'd ever get 100% on either the original or the remaster. So that kind of defeats the purpose there. I guess we're racing now. See who can do the most damage.
That's my cake.
There we go. So, is there anything else to really talk about? Not really. It's just going through the story. You spend most of the game so far in the second game getting led around by single player, which seems strange because it could have just been Tenenbaum, but I guess they needed somebody a little bit sleazier because they still wanted to present the concept of harvesting the little sisters if you so chose. Let's see. 15.
Face the light.
I think if they really were gonna do remastering, I would definitely take out the harvesting the little sister aspect. I would just remove those buttons, take out the bad ending options, and just say, no, you can't. That whole element is getting taken away. Of course, then that would be less ways you could play the game. I'm sure there's somebody out there, I don't know who, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that maybe on their third or fourth playthrough would say, let's just harvest the sisters and see what happens. All of them. But see, I would barely even be willing to spend the time to watch that on YouTube, let alone do it myself. Let's talk about some other things. Apparently the Steam user interface is going to get updated, given some things to improve upon as far as the filtering. So things like video and VR, you could filter those out, I think, permanently, which I think that's probably a good idea. I don't know why, but that just reminded me that I watched the first season of Family Guy, and I guess I want to talk about that, even though it has nothing to do with video games. Family Guy really feels like it's setting itself up just to be the replacement to The Simpsons in the worst way, which is to say, The Simpsons has been going on for years and years and years, and it's just kind of still there. It's not really doing great things. It's comfort food of entertainment. It doesn't make you think anything new or do anything. And the reason why it's even worse, in my opinion, in Family Guy is just random jokes, and they're repeating jokes, and they're running out of ideas. Telling an actual story, it feels like they're, for several seasons, have been trying to just completely get it canceled. The creators seem to be on that idea.
How many fingers do you see?
Job done.
Because they do weird experimental things and don't really do anything new. But I bet Fox is just saying, nope, we're not canceling this until we have something better, and they don't have anything better, quite simply.
Blessed be this funnel. Job done.
So it probably is gonna get stuck on TV for as long as
You're
The
in
Simpsons
trouble
are.
now.
Inherently, I guess Family Guy probably won't get canceled unless they have something better than Family Guy, but not as good as The Simpsons. And I'm not sure there's anything like that. I'm not sure that that's possible because it may be that The Simpsons already gets less views than Family Guy. Anyways, I'm just talking about Family Guy for no reason, though.
You, my master?
It's dull. The Fox Sunday night lineup was going good for like one season there, and then they moved all of their good shows away from them, just in management overthink. I assume is the case.
In the light's name.
You to master.
Face the light.
Feel my pain.
So, yeah, they moved everything around and added more garbage. In general, the TV lineup is starting to start back right now, and there's not a lot of interesting things there. What was I talking about that got me to that, though? Well, let's see. Where are we? Almost. Rock, Paper, Shotgun has written a lot of articles, it seems. I could be wrong. This might also be that it's just Rock, Paper, Shotgun and Eurogamer have written a lot of articles, and combined it seems like that it's been too many.
Your master.
But as far as I can tell, they've run a lot of articles about this game called Sunless Seas, which every time I look at it, looks just kind of like this top-down, maybe RPG, maybe roguelike game. I've never gotten enough into it. It just doesn't really look that interesting because you're just controlling ships, it seems. And they're continuing this coverage, which seems like they have something new to say about it shockingly often. They're continuing this coverage, however, with a announcement of sunless skies. So this isn't particularly a statement about sunless seas or sunless skies. It's really just a statement about Rock, Paper, Shotgun's coverage of it. It has gotten tiresome at this rate.
Now you feel pain.
So
Well
I
played.
need to learn the people that are obviously getting like a ton of ad revenue and are covering articles on games, because I am definitely watching some people on Twitter that they're getting paid to talk about games over and over again, just as a form of advertisement. And I think it is Rock, Paper, Shotgun is the place that recently put an article that said, have you played this game? And the first sentence was, we didn't actually play this game all the way through, or something like that. And it's like, oh, come on, where is your credibility there? So maybe I should stop watching Rock, Paper, Shotgun now on Twitter. My Twitter feed goes up and down because I'll enter contests and start following these people that are probably running scam contests to get more followers, and then I'll usually end up muting them. But I haven't actively spent any time going and looking for more review sites. But
I must protect.
I'm not sure I really even want to get
shall bring victory.
into that site as a video game reviewer myself. Do I really want to read the reviews of everybody else and just get into this groupthink with them? This groupthink that I've said before I hate, and it irritates me quite a bit.
The legions I command.
I don't want to see groupthink, and I don't want to see people just agreeing with people because they've become friends with each other. I guess that's one thing about Adam Sessler's Twitter, is that he really doesn't talk about video games except for the one game he's getting paid to promote right now. So it's pretty easy to say, well, if he's talking about Friday the 13th, the game, he was paid to promote that, and otherwise he's not talking about video games at all. He rarely posts, and when he does post, it's usually just political things. So it's kind of a shame, though, on the other hand. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because his is the one opinion that I kind of want to respect, and he's not getting paid to offer it, so he's not offering it. Which is that admirable? No, I don't think it is. I think if you have a voice, you should use it. Whether you're getting funded for that or not.
In the light's name.
I mean, imagine if you turned to your friend and you said, hey, sing us a song, you're a great singer. And he just said, no, I only sing when I get paid. And you'd be like, really? Come on, the world should hear your voice. You're an amazing singer. And I was like, nope, I only do it when I get paid. Never do anything for free, can't get paid. It's almost, it is that extreme greed of libertarianism and just capitalism in general, not even really libertarianism. In this case, it's capitalism.
Listen closely.
I need to be careful, of course, to only label things libertarianism if they actually are.
How many
at
things
least
do you see?
as close to my understanding of it as I can possibly achieve. Speaking somewhat of crony capitalism, Max Brooks, Mel Brooks' son, yes, that Mel Brooks from Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles. I almost said Wagons East, that's a John Candy movie.
Listen closely.
And many other very popular
Embrace the void.
In the light's name.
movies. So
In
Max
the
Brooks, the
light's
son
name.
of Mel Brooks, apparently he wrote the novel of World War Z, which I guess explains how it got made into a movie, because Mel Brooks probably gave him some kind of assistance there, and it would also explain, because that book did not sound like it was really all that much, and the movie is not anything like the book, they say. Although I looked on Wikipedia to see the reception of the book and see if it was even a good one. And as far as people say, it's generally positive. So it might be a mediocre thing. It might be better than mediocre.
Just a pinch of vigor.
So, but what does any of that have to do with
Face the
video
light.
games? Well, now that he's done writing World War Z, which he has been for a while, since the movie came out at least, he is now writing
You're in
a
trouble
novel
now.
for Minecraft,
Are you my
which
master?
again kind of is going to fail, probably on the same reasons that the Telltale games sort of fail.
Blessed be this funnel cake.
There's just this element to it where just this element to Minecraft where they try to add stories, and I just don't want stories. Minecraft story mode, I suppose, worked pretty well because you're not playing as Steve. You're playing as some other character in some other universe that is sort of like Minecraft but doesn't really look anything like it. If you're just writing a novel, it's easy enough to set that directly into Minecraft. And it just goes against the concept of it being a visually generated world. It's like the end credits of Minecraft, just how those are complete gibberish. And
Blessed be this funnel cake.
so, like, you just get this weird ending at the end for something that makes no sense and didn't need a tale. You're kind of making your own story as you're making your own world as you're doing your own thing. I've gotten very big into watching Sunday and Craner do Sky Factory and Trollcraft, and I haven't been watching him before. I think I knew of Sunday a little bit, but he wasn't one of the people that I was following.
A new recipe.
So,
That's my cake.
so I've started following him and Craner. Craner's a little annoying because he does this weird sounding voice. That he made 2 videos talking about his voice recently, and I didn't even bother to listen to him to see if that was his real voice or not. But he doesn't seem to be a native speaker of English. He seems like he might be Swedish or something. So I take that into consideration too. That's kind of like the PewDiePie issue, is that it's very possible that half of the reason why PewDiePie is popular is because he's Swedish and sounds a little different. Same as like the 80-year-old grandmother who's playing Skyrim on there. She sounds different and looks different, therefore she gets in it. But Craner is also kind of funny. I think they know what they're doing. I would say Sunday is a lunatic, personally, though, because he goes on Clash of Clans and spends hundreds of dollars. At least that's what he says. Maybe the truth of the matter is Clash of Clans is sponsoring him and giving him the money, and I haven't paid any attention to that, but that would be more believable. I kind of hope it's true, but then he buys a lot of Pokemon Go stuff too, so I think he just wastes money. He's one of those whales. Let's see. So we're covering several things, and we've got several things more to talk about next time. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow anybody on if you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, almost any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. Let me know in the comments if there's something new I should be on. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.